You're recording this. All
Got
right.
it. Yep.
Welcome to Five Questions. It's your girl AJ, the Suburban Princess here, trying to switch up my show. Now I decided to do two artists. One of them you're familiar with because I've interviewed him before and I've interviewed him with other Eagle fans. I'm not sure if the guest tonight is an Eagles fan, but if he's
Oh
not, it
yeah,
doesn't matter.
yeah, you
He
already know.
is.
There's gang out here.
All right, good, good,
What's
good.
up?
All right, cool. So we family. So this is great. So five questions tonight. We'll be discussing uh Good Things Come to Those Who Hustle by the brother Naj. And as you know, Picclo, as I've had before on my show. Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you for joining.
What's
All
happening?
right, thank you.
Okay. So I'm going to get into it because as Picclo knows, I only got a half an hour and I'm not paying for it past 30 minutes. So we're going to keep
Word.
it going.
I feel you.
Y'all know how ghetto I can be. Anyway, all right. So this album, I had some favorites. I love The Pursuit of Perfection, the song Focus, and Life Worth Living. Please describe a moment in your life that made you create these songs. Like these titles to me were pretty heavy. And now listening to all them, and I was listening to Pursuit of Perfection because me being a Virgo, I do have a perfectionistic quality about me, as you know. So please tell me, Naj, when you created some of these songs, if not you guys work together, I don't want to hear you talk over each other, but please tell me what influenced some of these titles for these songs on this album.
All right. I guess I could start with Pursuit of Perfection. I actually had a series of projects about almost 10 years ago now. I'm aging myself, but almost 10 years ago. I did 3 albums that were called The Pursuit of Perfection, and I just felt like that title kind of fit the song that me and Pitt created, and I was like, damn, that would be a nice callback to everybody who was messing with me, you know what I mean, 10 years ago. So I just said, yeah, let me name this song Pursuit of Perfection, and then I sent it to my homegirl Yanni. Shout out Yanni, man. Sent it to her, and she laced the hook because she was actually one of the people who was working with me back when I was making my music 10 years ago. So just
Gotcha.
brought everything full circle. Focused the project is Good Things Come to Those Who Hustle. That was birthed from one because I went through some serious times about 2 years ago. I almost passed away, and we kind of like attached that to me getting back on my feet. Just the hustle and the grind to get back healthy. So being focused on that task, being focused on getting healthy. I've actually had a bunch of workout sessions with Pick. You know what I mean? Like that because let me just start by saying Pick is like my real friend. You know, like if we didn't make music, I'd be kicking it with him every weekend. This is like my real dog. So for us to be focused on the task at hand, which was getting me back healthy, you know, I just felt like I had to add that to the mix. And then I can't remember what the third record was that you
It
said,
was
but
Life Worth Living.
Life Worth Living. Oh, just goes back
Enough
to
said.
the whole situation. Yeah. When you look at death in his eyes and you're able to get past him, like it definitely puts things in perspective. So that's where those 3 records came from.
All right. Well, Piccolo, when I last interviewed you, it was during still during lockdown, and we were talking about you rapping on your app project. So obviously, my next question to this brother is going to be what exactly happened if you'd like to share. But I want to ask you, what made you want to produce this? And I did hear you saying facts. That's facts, on the
Oh
track.
yeah.
What
So,
up?
So
so what made you come up with this whole producing and doing this awesome project?
so the thing was, of course, you know me as an actual artist myself, and I rap and things like that. But before any of that, I'm a musician. So I play drums and a little bit of keys, a little bit of bass. But production since probably like 2017 has been, it slowly was becoming like attached with it. I was like Piccolo, the artist producer. But I wanted the opportunity. It's actually written on this poster board. I wanted the opportunity to like work with the artist and do a whole project with them. And like Naj said, like we tight, we like super tight. Like I've been knowing him since high school, and it just made sense because he trusts me with my production, and I know anything I send him ain't gonna be trash. So it was just us putting our minds together, and literally from sessions where he was recording at his house and he'll come over to mine. We'll sit and listen to beats. But it was, like I said, it was deeper than that because he would come over and we go drink, play dominoes, talk sports and all that. And then it's like, oh wait, we supposed to be working on music, you know? So
hey, for real, that's how should be happening.
It literally happens organically. I'm not gonna say it's easy, but it's free flowing.
That's what
It's
you
free
want.
flowing between the two of us. Yeah.
You want that chemistry. And honestly, like I said, when I was listening to it, and honestly, when Pico, when I asked you, I was all thinking it was your project. Then I looked closer, I was like, oh, wait a minute. I was like, this is not him rapping the whole thing. And then I realized, I'm like, oh God, I feel so dumb. I'm sitting here going like, I would have been like, oh, this is Pico's part. I'm like, my bad. But
well, it's collectively ours. Like I'm the producer, he's the artist. But that's why on the Trap or Die revamp that we did, the little like sneaking hidden track, I was like, oh, I'm gonna be like DJ Khaled, so people could be like, oh, there he is. You know what I mean? So
new song alert.
Yeah.
He definitely did that too. Like he hit me, was like, hey, bro, because he sent me the beat. Well, actually, like I think he like posted the beat on the gram, and I texted him like, hey, send that to me right now. So he sent it to me, and when he sent it, I sent him back the vocals probably like the next day. He was like, dog, I'm finna be screaming all over this shit. Like I'm DJ, don't even worry about it. It's like, all right, for sure. So yeah, man, that definitely was a fun time making that one.
Who can't resist being that person though? Because I'm sorry, if if I could be the Ashanti to somebody's track, you don't need to pay me necessarily. I just want to be able to die and say I did that at least once on somebody's hot track and be like, I could say I did a little hook, peanut butter or something,
I feel it.
That's kind of a dream. But Naj, okay, so this isn't one of my questions, but now that you brought that up, I figured, because most of the themes obviously from this album obviously is about pushing through adversity, obviously with the open spoken word piece, and obviously with the songs I like. Please tell me, if you don't mind, what exactly was that moment that happened to you that you had to nourish yourself back into health?
All right, so almost 2 years, well, a little over 2 years ago, because the project actually came out on the anniversary of what happened, but I had a stroke on August 1st of 21. And that stroke pretty much took away my ability to walk. I couldn't lift up my left arm past about here, that's not even halfway up. I'm fully able to ask the teacher to call on me now. So I mean, like, that's pretty much what happened. I was actually at my aunt's funeral when it started. Gotcha. You know what I mean? So wow. I don't want to say that was the cause. You know, that was one of my favorite aunts though. So I was at the funeral. My father tells the story. He thought I had a hangover at the funeral. He thought I had been out drinking all night the night before. But in actuality, in hindsight, the stroke was starting. So
wow.
Yeah, I was first. So
well, that's nothing you can nothing you can say you haven't been through some stuff. And it felt like it had an overall dark but yet a light at the tunnel theme with most of the songs I was getting, like, and part of me, I don't mean to compare you, but I know I kind of got a Rick Ross kind of yeah, certain parts of the songs I felt it, but I never, artists I know don't want to be compared to each other, but
so two things about that. One, Ross is, well, three things. One, Ross is one of my favorite artists.
Okay.
Right? Two, I get that a lot, and I think it's just the tone.
Yeah.
Like I don't think I rap like Ross. But three, based on the project that we just dropped, a producer, I'm not gonna say his name right now, but a producer, a known producer, actually hit me about good things. Said he loved Pick's production first and foremost, and then he also gave me a comparison, and he said, "Hey, I feel like you're giving Rick Ross / Tupac vibes." I've never got Tupac before.
Wow,
that's interesting.
That is interesting.
That's hella interesting. I was like, Tupac, all right, bro. But I was talking to my woman, and she kind of broke it down. She was like, "Nah, it's probably just the content in the project, because you actually talking about something this time. Like you're not just trying to out rap everybody. You're not making a bunch of club records. It's actually like you're talking about something that you went through, and trying to motivate and inspire people to hustle." So maybe that's what it is. But yeah, I got.
And you referenced Me Against the World though twice.
I did. Oh, so that line is crazy.
I heard that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm listening.
See, she really listening.
Pay attention.
Hey, But all right, so can I ask you a question, or you? Yeah, I mean, all right. So look, so the line where I say both of Tupac's middle names. Did you catch that one?
Amaru.
Yeah,
Amaru.
yeah. You know what his other middle name is, right?
No, I did watch a documentary. I could be slipping, but I know Amaru.
It's Parrish. So in that whole shit, it's like, um, damn, this how you I make a lot of music. I
It'll come
don't
to you later.
remember my shit, yeah, but it's like bro, when I say something like pray I don't get caught in the middle or something. I say
Yes. Okay.
Paris in the middle, and I say
the whole Jada line and all that.
yeah.
Yeah, the
No, I
whole
know what
that
he's
whole
talking
I
like
was
about.
doing my thing, yeah,
I
man.
know what he's talking about, but I didn't even think about the other part of his name. And I watched that documentary they just had that the Hughes brother just redid, which is so excellent.
Yeah,
More
definitely.
detailed. But no, I did peep that a lot. And that's why I said because usually it's stuff that gets too heavy for me, I'd be like, oh, I can't listen to this. It's depressing. But I felt like when it came to having the songs with the females in it, obviously for me, it gives a light to the end of the tunnel for most of the tracks because obviously with Charlie Hustle, I mean, honestly, when you hear that and then Beware of the Dogs, it just makes you that's where the oof comes in, where you just kind of feel like that's the song you listen to when you really are in the middle of the grind and everything. Now, Piccolo, how did you feel, especially after the project was done? Did you feel like this is something in the future that you want to keep doing and maybe let the artist part of you take a back seat, or do you want to still get back to putting yourself primarily on the mic?
Oh, I fully. I think I'm gonna still like release music. Like that's not gonna be a problem. I'm actually working on this Eagles theme. Naj don't know it yet, but it's gonna be me and him doing a new Eagles theme.
Another
He just
theme?
he just found out. Yeah.
It's
Exclusive, exclusive.
We're gonna do it. Yeah, we're gonna do a new Eagles theme. I already talked to E-Rock, so he
Okay.
was just like, let us know when he's done so he can push it. But I do want to do like probably my next thing outside. Me and Naj do want to do another like a sequel
Mm-hmm.
or a trilogy to this whole project. But I do kind of want to go like the DJ Khaled route where I produce for other artists
Yeah.
and put together a compilation where it's like Piccolo featuring these artists, but I'm not on it. I'm just
Right,
producing it.
right. I feel that.
So I do look forward to like doing that probably within the next like year or so.
Well, cool. I'm looking forward to that for sure because, like I said, I wanted to get you back a while ago, even after the last time we spoke, because I love the way we set it up too. Because you had the whole black and the spotlight on you, and I said, "Look at Pico just creating this whole like essence." It was like a floating head I was talking to the whole time. It was
Yeah,
hilarious.
yeah, yeah.
Now, Naj, going back to what you mentioned, now you did say Rick Ross. Now, who else has inspired you with this whole project?
With this one, I feel like it was more personal than anything.
Okay.
If we're just going favorite artist though, I'd say Ross. I'd say Cole.
Oh.
3 Stacks. Um, my favorite rapper of all time is Mac from No Limit. A lot of people don't might not know who that is, but Mac was the best rapper on No Limit when No Limit was in their heyday. So
Yeah.
fuck with Mac. I'm a Snoop Dogg fan. Like I'm a hip hop fan in general. I'm a
Gotcha.
music fan, but I love shit from all over the place. I'm a Scarface, huge Scarface fan. You know what I mean? So I feel like I draw from every artist I listen to. Shit, I draw from I draw from my homies who rap. I draw from everything around me. So
Nice. Well, I mean, because y'all predominantly West Coast. So how did you feel so far? Because with this, obviously the whole weekend and everybody's been celebrating all month, the 50-year anniversary of hip hop. I'm sure you've been seeing a lot of clips and a lot of things have been going on. What are your thoughts, Nige? Because I feel like you got something to say.
all right, so I actually watched damn near the entire 8 hours of the 50th anniversary show that they
Mm-hmm.
did, and although it was dope, there were things that were missing and it was glaring, and that was a lot of. It was actually like New York artists that I expected to be there that weren't on stage. Busta Rhymes for sure should have been on stage, just to name one. But it was a lot of us missing. By us, I mean the West. It was a lot of South missing. As a Southern nigga, like Pick could tell you, I'm a Southern brother, so you know what I mean. Like, yes, I'm from here, but you know what I mean. I have Southern roots. I've lived down south for a while, and Scarface wasn't on there. I just said Scarface a second ago, but yeah, Scarface wasn't on there, and Scarface is definitely one of the greatest. So how didn't he rock that stage? But it was a lot of stuff that was missing from the 50th anniversary show. I enjoyed it, but they could have had artists from other places other than New York there that would have made that show even more spectacular.
Because that was the Rock the Bells was primarily in. I was thinking they were also going to make it an effort to do it in so many different locations because you can't possibly get everybody all on one stage. So I thought maybe they were going to, because I feel like they're still doing events from the month on since they celebrated the actual since August 11th. So I was thinking like if you could put your own, actually, I'm asked this to Piccolo first. I'm gonna give Naj time. If you could put your own version of West Coast show dedicated to tribute and hip hop, just throw out some names you would put together a show if you could curate, a show.
Is it Dead or Alive, or are we just going with Who's Here?
Yeah, Who's Here is kind of hard because I feel like all the greats have left, but put Dead and Alive. Go ahead. Just fuck
all
it.
Right. Got to throw Pac in there. We got Pac, Kendrick, Snoop and Dre, DJ Quick, DJ Quick, Sugar Free, E40, Too Short.
Too Short.
No, for real.
No, my cousins were in a video of his. That's why every time I hear Too Short, I think of the video they were in.
Mossberg, Mr. Show Chop, and Nas No Lie.
Show Chop for sure.
The whole TDE camp, because that just, Absol, J Rock, Q.
Blue.
You said who?
Blue from Pedro. Blue. Tyler. You got about Tyler gotta be on
Future. Oh man.
Oh yeah.
What's the dude from Dago? What's his name?
Oh, Mitchie Slick.
Mitchie Slick. I'll throw on Game.
Now you're going over my head, but
yeah, it's a lot, man.
This would be a day event. That'd be a 2-day festival.
Mozzie got to be on there for sure.
Mozzie, yes, absolutely.
Drew Down. You know what I mean? Like it's so many artists. I feel like we as folks from the LA area, I feel like we get a lot more flowers than the Bay gets. And the Bay got a lot of cats that deserve way more flowers than they do. Even like the OGs, like when you say Too Short and
Lunez.
Lunez, I've heard of Lunez. Yeah.
Like
it's a lot of people. Like I would think that, like you said, they should have separated it and did a New York show in New York.
Different.
A LA show in LA.
Midwest for the Midwest.
A Texas show in one of the metropolitan areas in Texas. A Florida show. That would have been dope as hell. If they would have went around the country and did that, that'd have been amazing.
That should have been how they did it, because honestly, that would be easier too for everyone not feel torn, like they missed out on a lot of stuff, because obviously not everybody's going to be there. And honestly, I mean, I know it's not a big name, but to me, I was actually shocked to hear that Magoo passed away today, because even though I loved him as part of the Basement, and I know he wasn't like big, but I mean, come on, I'm Jux the Boogie,
classic.
I mean, come on, there's just so many little things that he's done. I still love to love you. Like that beat is classic still. With Shanta, even though Shanta wasn't a big, but everybody knows who she was at that time. Like that whole era with Timbaland is great. And so I thought that was just so random that, he just popped up and he passed away. There's a lot of great artists, obviously, that are still kicking and still going. But at the same time, I don't know if y'all heard about the most recent gossipy thing that happened between Melly Mel and Eminem. That I don't even know why that even was news, but that Melly Mel had dissed Eminem and then he took back the diss, which
he recanted. Yeah.
I don't know why, but then come to find out, some chick on TikTok said that he beat her and he was getting arrested in a hotel room. So I don't know if that's why he took.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Wow, I didn't know that.
That was put on TikTok. Like she's putting her camera up to her face and it was out there. So I'm like,
okay. I thought he recanted because of the reaction that he got from this, because everybody was kind of like, hey bro, like sit down, OG. Right. You ain't gotta,
that's rocked up.
There's no need to.
That's why he did that.
Because to me that would make sense. But then when I saw that stuff on TikTok, I said, okay, this must be out already then, because they showed him getting, like, literally getting handcuffed in the hotel room and the lady's just talking mess in this camera. And I said, oh, that's not a good look, man. This is supposed to be all positivity. But getting back to these questions before I end, now, like I said, some of these you've technically already answered, but when you did put this together, keep in mind the thing with music is like the message can get lost with people who are of a certain generation, like millennials, basically, and anything younger than my generation. Do you feel like it's kind of hard to get kids to focus with who want to be upcoming rappers to get the message conveyed as opposed to just saying they rap and putting beats together? Do you think that people have forgotten how to put a message in an album? Because to me, an album has to flow because I got ADD. So if you don't have a message going through a whole album, I'm not going to listen to the whole thing. It kind of bores me. Do you feel like it's important, even Naj or Piccolo, Naj, you can go first. Is it important to have a message that's just cleanly obvious throughout a project to keep people interested, and is that missing from current rappers?
I think in today's times, the message isn't as important. It's important to someone like me because I grew up in the era where that was definitely important.
Yeah.
But for the younger cats, I don't think it's necessarily that important for them. I think the flow of it is more important for them, but also I do think that a lot of the young cats have messages. I was actually talking to a producer friend of mine, and his gripe with a lot of the younger music isn't that it's bad music. It's just a lot of it is depressing. Like the music with a message is all depressing now. It's not back like when in the 90s and the early 2000s, if something had a message, it wasn't all depressing. It was some of the stuff was upbeat, some of it was there to make you smile. Like everything with a message wasn't just super depressing. And a lot of the newer stuff that has a message is like, oh man, life's over. All my friends are dead.
Yeah.
So
like, I don't understand Juice World. I don't understand why everybody was such a big fan of his, but I'm just like, that dude was like high 100% of the time. Like, was his music even making sense? Like, because the way he passed away, I was just like, that's just horrible. Like, I'm like, if he's so talented, I would think you'd want to live a little longer and just, ease up on whatever took him away. But there's some people that they're putting out there, and I never, obviously, it's not my generation, but Triple X Stenchion, I don't know how to pronounce that kid's name that got killed in Miami. Yeah, I never knew how to pronounce his name. But I'm like, was he an artist, or is it just one of these things that in that generation they just kind of like here today, gone tomorrow? Do they appreciate their art, or were they even alive enough to even put out any art? Or am I just being judgy and old?
I mean, I think they might look at the way that we look at what's going on and kind of say that we're like, get off my lawn. But at the end of the day, I can appreciate a lot of the stuff that the younger cats are making. I'm not, and maybe it's because I have a 17-year-old little sister, so she always comes to me and, hey man, this is dope. Like you gotta. So I have that. She kind of keeps me young, and low key, I think she keeps me closer to hip hop than I might be at this point in life. But because she's always, hey, you should listen to this, and then I'll listen to it like, oh yeah, that kind of go. I like that. So I think like they just have their style of hip hop, and we had ours, and we're trying to keep ours alive. But I will say the difference between now and when I was young and coming up, say when I was 17, 18 years old, is there was a lot of diversity in hip hop. And hip hop nowadays sounds the same. Like I can't really tell the difference between music that was made in the city and music that was made in Detroit. The LA sound and the Detroit sound is damn near the same exact thing. Whereas 15 years ago, you knew who was from Detroit. It was Eminem, and M and them didn't sound like, even though they were messing with Dre, they didn't sound like here.
Right.
The people from here didn't sound like people from Philly. People from Philly didn't sound like people in the South. People in the South didn't sound like New York. And it's kind of like everything is just one big ball of the same song.
Yeah.
All over again. So
same kind of pseudo trappy. What's your take, Piccolo, on generations messages?
Well, kind of just piggybacking off of what Nas was saying, I try not to be like a hater of what they make. I just kind of look at it as like that's just not what I listen to. Now the interesting thing is this: like I am an active user of TikTok. Sometimes I go there to learn new things and learn different ways to produce, but also, but you'll hear a snippet of something, you'll be like, that shit hard.
Sometimes.
Like, who made that?
Yep.
And then it's one of those people that I don't listen to. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
Yep.
I just take it with a grain of salt, you know. I think the era that we all grew up in, like that 90s era, early 2000s era, it's not, we never gonna be able to touch something like that because in the 80s they weren't able to touch that because it just continues to evolve. It's the same
Evolve.
way compared to sports. Like the only running back that I can really think that would be killing in that late era, like Barry Sanders, like he's probably the only one that I'm like, oh yeah, he'll most definitely still be
But
killing
still, yeah, he's
in
still be
this
working.
era, you know. But all the running backs of this era would have smacked them playing back in the 1960s and
Yeah.
70s. You know what I'm saying? So it just continues to evolve. So I'm just grateful to still be a part of it and still being able to contribute to it.
Yeah, because honestly, like, how do you? Because like you said, TikTok. Sometimes, how do you grab any inspiration and you don't want it to sound the same? Because to me, I find that must be most of the challenges for producers now, not trying to. Because obviously, they're going to call our generation the boom bap generation, but I'm like, at least I understood what the freak people were saying. You know what I mean? Like, we can be boom bap all we want. Just I need the lyrics because if I don't,
But I'm
you know,
but I'm actually learning from those TikToks and hearing those different producers. You know,
okay,
Right.
I'm like, whoa, how'd you flip that 808? And then they'll be like, oh, here's actually a tutorial of how I did it. So it
yeah,
just it's helped to bring it, towards the forefront. You know what I'm saying? I think it's actually dope using that platform. Um, I'll be honest, I was kind of scared to use TikTok at first. I was like, oh, this is for the young kids and stuff like that. But man, it's probably the best social media app since Twitter. Because like Vine came through and all the
yeah.
other Uvu, all those, they all came through. But like this one is just way more impactful.
Well, it gives you the visuals and a clip, and it's like you figure the attention spans we have now, like gnats. It's like that's about as much information you want to take in one little clip, and
Yeah.
then feel like you learn. I usually use it for travel tips, health stuff, and that's what I'm on there for. And then also just for stupid memes and people falling. I mean,
Right.
honestly, when I'm trying to go to bed, it's
Hey,
funny to watch
hey,
people
AJ. So
falling.
look, the funny thing, you bring up people falling. Me and Naj is in the group chat, and anytime like we're going through something,
Yeah.
somebody will post this video of this
That
woman
granny.
falling, and it's like it be shit like that keeps
Yeah.
us like entertained and throughout the highs and lows of life. It's like
That's
shit
what you
like that.
need.
I
And that's
totally
what
get
you
it.
need.
Yeah.
It's the stupid stuff, but it's the simplest stupid stuff. And just before I go, because I got the 10-minute warning and I don't want to cut you guys off. Thank you so much for doing this, by the way.
All good.
The second to last track on here, If You Love Me, Walk With Me. I do love that track. Um, I just had an overall feeling of like I love how there's obviously an undertone of a spiritual theme and kind of a union with spirit, no matter how bad your life is and how you're struggling with little things. Talk to me about If You Love Me, Walk With Me, because I really do enjoy that one because that has is her name La Speaks or is it LA Speaks?
Yeah.
No, it's La.
It's
Last
La.
week.
Okay.
So that record actually was my motto. The title of that record was my motto after everything happened. Like I said, I couldn't walk, so I had to learn how to walk. So Pick
Yeah,
could tell you, I was on a walker. So I went through a few months. I was actually supposed to be on that walker for about 6 months, and I ended up being on it for like 2.5.
Mm.
And then I went from the walker to a cane, but it became my thing. I would post anytime I would post a picture on Instagram, no matter what it was. My hashtag was "If You Let Me Walk With Me" because I really wanted people to just help me through this journey because the journey was tough. I
Mm-hmm.
went through a lot of different emotions at the time, so that was my thing. Like, if you let me walk with me, and then walking actually became my favorite way of exercise. I just walk almost 5 miles today.
Good.
So that's kind of almost a daily thing for me. Like, I'll just get out and walk. If I got time, I'll walk for a couple hours. And just doing that during that time, it just carried over. So once Pick sent me the beat, and I actually pinned the verse to it. It's like, damn, I couldn't come up with a hook at first, and I was like, well, nah, because I still want people, if they love me, to walk with me. I still want people to go through this journey with me. So
Well, you need to tell my lazy ass because I got pre-diabetes thing and my butt can't even walk longer than 15 minutes. So shit.
You got to get out there. Walking is cool, man. I love nature so much. I never was one of those people who love nature, and I'd always go walk at the beach. Obviously, I'm blessed enough to live in LA, so
I'm saying, yeah, you appreciate every
all
little
around
thing.
me, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I love being outside walking.
Well, I hate to cut you off because, like I said, I ain't paying no more. So, but I'm very blessed, Naj. God bless you, brother.
Thank you.
I wish you nothing more but success, especially you, Piccolo, as you know. We obviously gonna be waiting to hear that track. I'm definitely excited to hear what y'all gonna come up with for the Eagles tailgates. I probably won't be at them because I tell you every time I try to go, folks be getting there and I'll be just getting there, everybody be leaving. I feel like an old head, so I'm not even gonna try to front anymore with the tailgate life. It's not me, but I wish you guys well. I thank you so much for joining 5 Questions with me, with AJ, your girl. And like I said, go listen to Good Things Come to Those Who Hustle. It's on all DSPs, as they say on the podcast. Download, buy on Apple Music, Spotify, whatever you do. I do Apple Music. Piccolo, I'll be excited to talk to you again soon. Naj, hopefully you do again. Shout out Instagram handles too, because I gotta follow y'all. I know I follow Piccolo. What's yours, Naj? I got yours.
Oh, okay. I ain't got to say it. All right.
Yeah, you good.
But what if the people want to say? If the people,
okay, fine. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Picclo 915 PICCLO 915.
All right.
And mine is Mansour on Go. That's MONSIURAHNGEAUX. Mansour on Go.
Okay. All right. And I'll definitely make sure I put that in the handle. And if I don't remember how to spell Piccolo, I'll be sending you a DM.
That's a fact. I got
you. All
right,
brothers. Well, thank you so much. Good luck on the album. I hope it blows up. And if not, I don't even care because I know I'm gonna go back and listen to other stuff I saw under you because I didn't realize, brother, you had so many other singles. So I'm gonna be
he got a lot
of work going back. So all right, guys, have a good night. Thank you.
Fly Eagles fly. Go
fly,
birds.
Eagles fly, go birds. We up in this piece. See y'all later.